back to the channel. I know it's been about 6 months. My last video is when I bought the Mustang, and that one's currently in the shop right now. But we are officially back. But this time we will actually be doing a 20,000 mile review of my first gen Nissan Frontier. I have now officially driven this well over 20,000 miles. It is completely bone stock still. I mean, other than little cosmetics here and there that have either been put on, taken off, or anything like that. But we are officially doing a review here because I have driven this pretty much everywhere. I've driven across the whole US. I've driven all over everywhere. It's been a ride. So you might be wondering why I'm underneath the truck right now. Well, on the other side at least. But the first point I actually want to bring up is mods. I mean, right now, currently we are running the stock height. It's pretty low to the floor for a truck. It's compact, what you expect. But the first thing I want to bring up is modding capabilities. So of course you can always just do like Xterra swaps, or you can put Titan tires on it, even lift it or lower it. But at the same time, it's actually very difficult to find mods for these trucks. The reason why I say that is because most companies that actually used to make mods for these trucks are either out of business, they don't sell the parts anymore, they don't make them like they used to. There's very limited supply of these because people didn't really buy these trucks back in the day, which I don't really understand why, because these trucks are like little Tacomas. They last forever, they're really fun to drive, and they're not that big, so it's not too hard to go anywhere with them. Of course, for the number 4 spot, I actually want to get into the longevity of these trucks. They do not give out, and I mean, you can throw this truck into mud, you can do whatever you want to this truck, you can flood it, you can run it without any oil. This thing will last forever. I do not know what they did with these 4-bangers, but they do not quit. They do not give out. They don't stop. I have driven this truck well beyond the mark of over 16 hours in just one drive when I was going across the US, which I should have recorded for a video for that. But I've driven all the way up to Jersey in one go and back in one go, and it did not want to stop at all. It did not want to quit. It did not want to do anything. All it wanted to do was just keep going. Every single thing, like the AC never gave out, the belts never gave out, they're not even squeaking yet. Nothing's happening. These little trucks will last you forever. The engines are absolutely bulletproof. That's what I have learned so far about that. Next part of this truck, I actually want to get into the actual truck, because the next point I have for number 3 is you can see absolutely everything in this truck. You can be sitting, of course, right in the driver's seat. You look forward and you can see everything out the windows. But even if you look to your left, of course, everything. Right? Of course, everything. But the reason why I say everything is because even if you just look backwards, you can see absolutely everything. So this is actually going to be a great starter vehicle for anyone who's looking to get into trucks or cars or anything like that, because even if it's your first ever car, you can see everything. There's almost no blind spots in this car. Even when you're looking through the rear view, you can pretty much see everything that a normal blind spot would have. You can look over a little bit to the left, the back window's right there if you have the king cab, and you can see everything right out there. So I would honestly say that this is probably the perfect vehicle for anyone who is just starting out, or if you're just looking for another project. But of course, with everything being said and done, if you actually look at all the facts I'm giving you guys today and how this truck just seems to be perfect, every single truck that seems to be perfect always has its flaws. But then of course, with the Nissan, is this thing is going to be very slow. Currently it is running the 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine, so it only has a top speed of 95, but if it's not governed, then it can go 112. But still, this thing is only meant pretty much to keep up with traffic and maybe go a little bit above if you can even hit that. These trucks are not meant for fast. It's not meant for anything like that. It's only meant for cruising, so it's your perfect grandpa's truck. Nothing about this truck screams fast. Nothing about it shows that it's going to be fast, unless you of course get that 3.3 liter V6 which has a supercharger if you get the crew cab. You're only looking at a 0 to 60 time between 8.5 seconds to 11 seconds, and that's just between the actual models you get. It really just depends on what kind of engine you have. But what I'm trying to say in this point is that these trucks are very slow, but they are highly reliable, which makes them a real eye catcher to most people. The very last thing I do want to talk about today is actually just how different these trucks are in the car community. The last thing I have learned from it is that these are very, very different types of trucks. People normally look at trucks such as the Chevy Silverado, the Dodge Ram, or the F-150 and think that that is a man's truck. This one is very different to those. This one is tiny, it's compact. These ones are really meant to be lower. They're not really meant to be lifted, and they just look so damn good doing it. They're not normally seen here. They're very different. People like Scotty Kilmer have done reviews about these trucks, and it has really gained the popularity with these trucks. Of course, with the popularity on the rise, and of course with this being a 2000, there's not that many left of them. There's only a very select amount still available, still driving to this day, even as good as condition as this one may be, even though that's dirty as hell. I do need to get that clean. But people don't drive these anymore. People don't look at them, so they're considered first-time cars or just anything. Of course, other people will just call them rust buckets or shit box or anything like that, but these are actually hidden gems in the car community. I know I'm spitting a bunch of nonsense here, and I'm just trying to figure out the right words for this. What I'm trying to say is these trucks are very, very different to anyone else. These are perfect for anyone in the car community, such as the JDM community, because these trucks can be turned into some crazy looking rides if you lower it or extend the fender flares and lift it and make it look nice. You can really do anything with this truck if you know what you're doing. You really realize what is actually underneath that hood. You actually realize what is good about these trucks and how underrated these hidden gems really are. They actually do hold up even over 23 years later.